Okay, guys, it's Angelo Christian. I got a very special presentation today about the one-time closed construction loan. We're actually going to go on site with one of our home builders, Perry Homes, what we do with the construction loan, how we help people to build their house. And we're going to walk through some of the model homes that we've done, also some of the on their construction site, so you can actually see visually what it looks like to build your own home. And so we're going to go over there. You can check it out. We're going to walk through the home. If you're looking to build a house and you want to do a construction loan, you don't know where to get started or what to do, that's what we're here for today. So we're going to go to the actual construction site, walk through the home, take a tour, and then actually go through actually the houses that we have under construction that we're building. Because if you're looking to build a house, you got to see what it looks like, what the process is. And then we're going to come back and we're going to actually meet with Josh Allen, who is our expert construction manager that knows everything about construction lending. We're going to talk with him. He's going to explain the whole process of what it takes to buy the land, build a house, the requirements for the construction loan, the benefits, the different types of construction loans that you can do. So we're going to go over all this, and at the end of it, you're going to become an expert and know all about construction loans and see if this is something that you're interested in looking to do. And if you are, you can click on the link below to get started to fill out all the information, and then we can work on helping you to get you qualified for a one-time closed construction loan. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of great information. It's going to teach you the whole process of how to build a house. And if you have any questions, give us a call. We certainly look forward to helping you to build your dream home. Hey guys, it's Angelo Christian here. I have a very special treat. We're actually out on site with one of our great builders, Perry Homes, and we have a special treat for you today. Going to be touring this magnificent house that we specialize in with a one-time closed construction loan. It is a little windy. You might pick up some wind, but we're going to check out this house. We'll walk through. As you can see, it's a beautiful home. One of the things that we specialize in is the one-time closed construction loan program, where you can get the funding to build a house like this on your own lot. So just kind of walk with me. We're going to go and meet Presley. He's going to walk us through the house, and we'll check it out. You see, it's got the brick and the stone. It's got a wrought iron door here. It's a beautiful house. We'll get some of the information from Presley when he opens up the door. Hey Presley, how's it going, man?
How are you? Welcome,
What's up, brother? Hey, how are you, man?
Nice to see you again.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. We wanted to come in and check out your house today.
All right, awesome.
Is that cool?
Come on.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the subdivision and the home and everything.
Awesome. Yes. So Perry Homes, 50 years old. Very well recognized for quality open floor plan in our kitchens.
Yeah.
So in the front here we have our office space or library.
Okay.
We have it in this configuration without the French doors. You can get it with the French doors. That's the way it comes normally.
Okay.
The ceilings, the recessed lights, the heights, the nice windows, the floor-to-ceiling windows, those are all included features when you buy a Perry home.
Now you're saying here you could get this with French doors?
Mm-hmm. It actually comes with French doors, but what's really cool is they start the wall here for the doors. So this edge remains. So you still get a nice little architectural line,
yeah,
and glass French doors at that.
Mm-hmm. That'd be beautiful. All right, so this is the kitchen right here?
This is the kitchen.
Okay, wow.
All of our drawers are fully extended.
Oh, cool.
And that is also a standard feature. Little things that customers don't realize they need is features like the cabinet trim. You don't realize how big of a deal it is until you're trying to put in under cabinet lighting, and then you have the light bulging out. And you see how solid this door is? It's a solid core door. Even our shelving is 100% wood.
Oh, wow.
And something to notice when you are looking at kitchens with any builder is what kind of hardware do they use? And since we use 100% wood, even our shelving is wood.
Oh, wow.
This is one of the great points that I point out to customers, because the garage door for code is the standard size door. Okay. You have the option to upgrade to your 8-foot door, and having them side by side gives a good representation of what the difference is and how the upgrade an 8-foot door gives it a very grand feel.
Yeah. And then this is like the breakfast area?
This is the breakfast area. Okay. And you still have really large open windows here. That is another thing that is included when you buy a Perry home. We like to have open feel to the house.
Right.
So next to you have the game room. The game room comes with French doors.
Okay.
These are the same French doors that you would get in your office or your library.
Okay.
Something that I try to go over with every buyer is this spot right here.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, if you take a picture of this area here, the nice fireplace, the gas fireplace, and the windows, and you send it to your best friend and say, I just bought a multi-million-dollar home, they will say, man, that's great.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. If you sent them the same picture, but it had double hung windows where you can actually raise the windows and you say, hey, I just bought a $2 million home, they wouldn't believe you. They say, well, it's a nice layout and everything is, I can see where you're going, but I can tell by the windows that that's not $1 million home, because the windows leave a lot of room open, and when you break the eye line, you kind of lose that elegance, you lose that grandeur.
Oh wow. I love this granite, man. Yeah, this is gorgeous with the wood.
Granite is standard in the master. And because our cabinets are still high quality, even the bathroom cabinets are full extension. They still have the stainless steel guy rails. Show you another huge difference in the closet. Wha Perry is a little bit different. So every house, every builder is going to have something to hang your suits or your dresses or whatever. But when Perry builds, we actually incorporate the rods into the wall.
Oh, wow.
And this actually aligns with the stud in the wall.
That makes a huge difference.
Instead of the little plastic caps that you see at the apartments. That's why the clothes always fall down.
Yeah. That's really cool, man.
This gives you an idea of some of the build outs we can do as maybe a secondary linen shelf or towels in addition to the linen closet that you have.
Yeah. So now, how many bedrooms is this?
4.
Okay, so this is the there's a master, and then there's we saw the game room, and then there's, like I said, the 3 bedrooms are over here to the right.
Yeah. So you notice here, even with the windows, even though they're double hung, they're still really tall. They're not the traditional size. When you close on your home, you get screens. And when you clean the house, you can open up the windows there, clean there, and then take your brush or whatever you're going to use to clean the outside of the windows.
Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, Perry spends no expense. You can see whenever they, when they build a house. I mean, it's gorgeous. I know you're real busy. I won't take too much of your time. I'm glad you let us check this house out. If you guys are interested, we'll have all the information where you can reach out to Presley with Perry Homes, and we'll probably check out some of the neighborhood. Thank you, man.
Man, thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much. Yeah, love your house, man.
Much.
Hey guys, it's Angelo out on the construction site, showing you what it looks like when you start your construction loan. This is the beginning. Well, they're actually in the middle phase of construction right now. And part of the thing when you do a construction loan, you do the all-in-one close. It includes the construction and the permanent loan all together. This is the construction phase where they're actually building the home. So yeah, when you're building your house, where they're at right now, they're probably about 30 to 35 days out from completion. We'll kind of walk through and check it out. Yeah, so this is the where they're building out the stairwell right here. As you see right here, this is kind of this must be the master, where they're doing the master bedroom. The windows. This must be the living room right here. You can see what it looks like when you're under construction. So there's usually 3 stages of plumbing. This is their top out, their beginning plumbing. And this is probably the framed in the patio right here that they've talked about, what Presley was talking about. And then out to the backyard, if you want to have a pool. With a one-time closed construction loan, you can also have a pool included or an outdoor kitchen. So it's a really cool feature. I love the covered patio. I think that's a really awesome thing for if you love to barbecue or cook. I'm a big barbecue guy. And so just makes it really fun. So it has high ceilings here. This is this right here. Take a picture. That's called a rotunda. And that's a really cool thing that you can have built in. You can have some type of tile or granite put there, something really cool right there. But yeah, I mean, so one of the things about the construction loan that's really cool it's an all-in-one loan, so you get the funding to purchase the land, build the house, and it's a permanent loan all rolled into one, so you don't have to worry about getting a separate land loan, a separate construction loan, and then a separate permanent loan. You can get everything all bundled together. You can build on your own lot. You can pick your builder. We take care of all this for you. So I just wanted to have you guys kind of see the before and after to see what it looks like when you're building your home. It's something we can help you to make a reality if you're really looking to build a house. Give us a call. You can reach us at 281-817-HOME. Again, that's 281-817-HOME. We'd love to talk to you about helping you to build your dream home. Wouldn't that be great if you could build your own home and design it from scratch with a builder and pick out your lot? Well, now you can. There's even zero down opportunities or small 3.5% investment opportunities to build your own home. So really cool. I'm glad we're able to check out this house. And if you'd love to learn more, reach out to us and we'll be here. All right. Thank you, guys. All right, guys. It's Angelo Christian over here with Josh Allen, one of the top mortgage experts in the industry. And today we're talking about a one-time closed construction loan. And Josh is one of the smartest guys that I know when it comes to construction loans. And so I thought, instead of me over here trying to come over here and tell you and guess how to tell you how it works, we're actually learn from him on the process of doing a one-time closed construction, because we get thousands of inquiries for the loan, and there's a lot of working parts in it. It's a lot different than a regular type of loan because there's basically two closings wrapped into one, and it can get if it's not managed the correct way, it can get problematic and chaotic. And so today we're just going to talk about the one-time closed construction, kind of break it all down. So at the end of this, you're going to understand what is a one-time closed construction loan, what's the process of the one-time closed construction loan, what the fees are for the one-time closed construction loan, the types of one-time construction loans you can have, and an FAQ kind of going over frequently asked questions that people have, and obviously the benefits and the requirements of the one-time closed construction. So Josh, thank you so much for joining us today. The first thing that I wanted to ask you is, you've been a producing branch manager, you've been an originator, you've seen a lot of people inquire about the construction loan. Because it's very confusing, it's even sometimes even hard for me to explain it. What is a one-time closed construction loan?
A one-time closed construction loan is a construction loan where you close one time. So a lot of people, when you're getting construction financing, usually you get a construction loan, which is usually called like an interim financing, and that's usually an interest-only loan where you're making interest-only payments during the construction of the home. And then once the construction is complete, you refinance that loan into a permanent mortgage. Now, a one-time closed construction loan is you close on your permanent mortgage before the construction even begins. So once construction is complete, your permanent mortgage is already in place. There's no temporary financing or interest-only financing construction involved. So you close one time, you get your permanent mortgage, you lock in your rate before construction begins, and then once construction is done, you just start making your monthly payments.
Okay, so all right, so on the one-time closed construction, let's say that, so is it two loans wrapped into one?
Right, yeah, it is two loans wrapped into one. It's your traditional construction loan and permanent mortgage put into one loan.
Okay, so I guess the way that a regular construction loan works is, let's say that someone's going to go to their bank to get a loan to build a house. They would have to do a construction loan first?
Right, yeah, they would have to get a construction loan, and those usually involve like really large down payments.
Okay.
And then during the construction process, they're having to pay the interest every month that's due on that loan. They're not making principal and interest payments usually on a regular construction loan. Mm-hmm. So they're only making the interest payments, and that's why you have to refinance that into a permanent mortgage later on once construction is complete.
Okay. So with a regular bank loan, you have to get two mortgages. You have to get the construction loan, and then once that's done, you have to refinance the loan, pay a secondary closing, mm-hmm. go through a secondary approval process, and,
right.
and then refinance into a permanent mortgage after that.
Right.
Okay.
And keep in mind that when you start in that process, the traditional process where you're getting a construction loan and have to refinance to a permanent mortgage later, you're when you're going to refinance, it might be 9 months down the road. So your interest rates are going to be subject to whatever they are, 6 to 9 months down the road from your starting the project. Mm-hmm. Whereas on your one-time close loan, the loan that we're talking about here, the interest rate that you get that locked in before you even start. So once your construction is complete, you already have your interest rate in place, 6 to 9 months, before construction even began.
Okay. Now, isn't it true also that there's a float down you can do with the lock? You can lock the rate, and is there a float down? Meaning that if there's let's say that you lock today at like 5%, and let's say rates improve in the future, can they get that lower rate?
Yeah, that's a good question. Can you ask me that one more time?
Well, no, because I've seen that I think that there's, from what I read, that FHA has a float down policy from what I've seen, that basically when you lock the interest rate, let's say you lock at 5%, that when they actually go to the permanent mortgage, if rates have improved by, whatever percentage, they have a chance to.
Right. I think that that they do have a float down policy, but I think for people that are looking for anything in the next year, a few years down the road, the rates aren't going down; they're going up.
Right.
So the earlier you lock in, the better off you are.
And that's generally that's the norm. So let's say that. So basically, the main takeaway here is that, let's say that today's market rate's 4.5%. We close, we lock on that rate. Janet Yellen raises rates, and the mortgage rate in 2018 in June is 5.5%. They don't have to get that rate, right?
Right, that's right. Yeah,
they get the 4.5.
Right, that's the advantage of the one-time close construction loan, is that you're locking in now as opposed to 6-9 months down the road.
Okay, now what are the types of one-time close construction loans can you have? Is it just FHA or?
There's FHA. That's a really popular one. Conventional. There's VA. Those are the three
main ones.
3 main one-time closes that you can obtain.
Okay.
So it just depends on what your qualifications are and which ones we try and match you up to. That might be the best fit for what you're trying to do.
Okay. And with an FHA loan, is there a down payment?
There is a down payment requirement on FHA, but the beauty of the one-time close program is that, let's say you already own the land that that you want to build on. Well, you can use the equity from that land to help cover your down payment requirement, which is the benefit of that program.
So essentially, you could do zero down.
Right. Yeah. You can. We close several FHA loans, construction loans, where they're not bringing any money to closing because they have equity.
Right.
And they're using that to cover their down payment requirement.
Okay. But with a VA loan, it's already zero down, right? Because you're a veteran, you can get 100% financing.
Right. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And then with a conventional loan, what's the down payment requirement?
The minimum is 5% down on the conventional.
Okay.
And there's also equity you can use in that one too. If you happen to own the land that you want to build on conventional and FHA, you have the option to use equity to cover the down payment.
Okay. Let me ask this on the land thing. Is there a certain amount of time you have to own the land for?
Usually 6 months.
Okay, so you have to. What about if it was just deeded to you?
If it's deeded from like it was gifted from like a family, then you can use it immediately.
Okay,
There's no waiting period.
Okay, that's a huge thing. Now, let me ask you this: what type of properties can you do with these loans? Because you can't do everything, right?
Right. Yeah. Usually they're looking for a traditional stick built home, a modular home. Or even manufactured.
You can do manufactured.
You can do manufactured.
Okay, now I've read something
with FHA. You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read something that you can do, and I was talking to NCF about this. That you can do a multi-unit up to 2 units.
With like a garage or
like a duplex.
Quarters. Like a duplex.
Yeah, like a multi-unit, like a duplex.
Yeah, with FHA.
So,
yeah.
So
you can do that one under the FHA program, but not VA or conventional.
Okay. So the takeaways then is that you can do single family,
right,
modular,
right,
manufactured, which is mobile,
right,
and multi-unit, which is 1 to 2 units,
right. But now when you're looking at the mobile home or the manufactured home, it has to be at least a double wide.
Okay. Yeah, because it can't be a single wide.
Right.
Okay.
So just make sure that if you're looking for one of those, that you're looking for that.
And it has to be used or brand new?
Brand new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go into well, let me ask this: let's say that somebody wants to apply for a one-time closed construction loan. What's the process to apply?
Well, the application process is just like the same, as any other loan program. So you're going to go online and fill out an application, and
Which they can click below.
Right. Yeah. You can click on
below.
the link below to fill out an application, and then from there, when you fill out the application, you'll create a username and password. You also upload your documents that we need to perform the pre-qualification. Typically, things like your tax returns and pay stubs, things like that. We'll review your credit, review the documents, and then determine how much we can get you approved for. Then once you're approved, the next step from there is picking out a builder or a modular home dealer, or manufactured home dealer, and then there's a packet that they'll need to fill out once you get someone picked out, and we'll need to get them approved as well. They don't go as much of a scrutiny, but there's not a credit report that we pull on them, but there's a few things that we'll need from the builder or dealer.
References, insurance, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What are the stuff? Okay, so there's two application processes. The customer, you as the homeowner, the buyer, you have to get approved, and then there's also one of the builder.
Yeah.
So just the basic requirements for the builder?
Usually 3 references from people that they've built homes for, insurance, and air and emissions policy, builder's risk, and then for the stick-built homes, the houses that are your traditional homes, the builder has to supply financials, like tax returns, profit and loss statements.
Right.
For your houses that you're getting from a modular home dealer or manufactured home dealer, financials aren't required. So they fill out a packet. Either one, the stick-built home or the modular dealer, they fill out a packet, and they'll send that back with their insurance. And if it's a stick-built home, they have to get their financials. And that's getting the documents from the builder can sometimes be one of the longest parts, depending on the builder. So you just want to make sure who you pick. They're familiar with filling out paperwork. They have no problem with it, and it makes the process a little smoother.
Okay. Now, what are the requirements for the homeowner to get approved?
For the homeowner, you typically need a minimum of a 620 credit score.
Okay.
And
what debt ratio can they go up to?
What debt ratio can they go up to?
Yeah.
They can go up to.
Is it 50?
You want to go 50?
Yeah, is it 50%?
For which loan?
Pretty much. The general is it like 50%?
In general, the maximum debt ratio is around 50% across the board. There's going to be some parameters that
like
could
conventional
vary.
Conventional might be a little bit lower.
Conventional might be like 45.
Okay.
FHA. There's some that go over 50, like 55. It just depends on your qualifications.
But basically, no foreclosures or major bankruptcies in the last 3 years.
Right.
For government loans, for FHA and VA.
Yeah, conventional is 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, for bankruptcy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the homeowner has to provide income documentation, right?
Yeah. That's
okay.
We have to be able to determine your income in order to see if you're able to make the loan payments.
Right. Okay. Now that's good. Now the one thing that as far as going into now this builder application, Chris, do you mind pulling up? We can pull up that builder application. This is the application that the builder has to fill out. You can see it here, and if you're at home watching, you can actually download this attachment and send that to your builder directly. But this is the application. This is very basic. He puts his name, his company information, the revenue of the company, his references, and he just shoots that over. There's an email on the application where it shows where he's going to send that to, and that goes to our construction loan manager. It's an approval department where they review all of his information. On the builder side, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to review the builder to get him approved. And now you as the homeowner just takes usually about 3 to 5 days to review all of your information for pre-approval. So just to make sure we're clear, there's 2 pre-approvals. There's one on you as the homeowner, and then also one on your builder that has to get approved. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is the the cost. What are the costs to do this loan?
Right.
You know,
some customers when they call, we go over a few things with them. One of their initial assumptions is that how much do I need to start making? How much do I need to start paying? I guess as soon as we close. And what some people I guess don't realize is that this is not like your traditional construction loan. You're not making interest only payments during construction process. So the one-time close program was built, to try and make it affordable for you to, get a home built without, costing you an arm and a leg. So during the construction process, you're not actually making any payments at all out of your pocket during that construction process. Your payments don't actually begin until construction is complete, where you'll actually resume or start making your regular monthly mortgage payments.
Okay, I got two questions for on that. Just so we're clear, what is the interest rate during construction? Because it's different than the 4.5, the market rate they lock in at. What's the interest rate during construction?
The construction interest rate is usually between 7 and 8%.
Okay,
yeah.
And that's interest only,
right?
And that gets rolled into the loan, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're not having to make those payments, interest only payments out of pocket. It gets rolled in. Yeah.
Okay, so that gets rolled into the loan. Then you said that, let's say that it takes the builder 6 months. They don't have to make those payments.
Right. That's correct.
Okay, and now is there a time limit for construction?
It depends. We've had some go 12 months, 14 months. It just depends.
Okay.
So we have a pretty good construction team that oversees the project post-closing. That will be working closely with you and your builder to ensure that everything gets done correctly. But
okay.
I've seen some go out about a year. But usually they like to see them about 6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months, right? That's what I was thinking about, 6 to 9 months. Now, as far as the closing costs, let's talk about the closing costs. So, what are the actual settlement charges or fees or closing costs associated with this?
Well, you're going to have your homeowner's insurance, which is going to usually be paid up front for the first year. Title company is going to have settlement charges as well.
Title insurance, escrow.
Right. They have lender's title policy. If you already own the land, you probably won't need an owner's title policy, but anytime you're getting a loan, lender's title policy is required. And then they have some other miscellaneous closing fees that they'll charge for administering the closing. Okay,
so let's say title's probably about 1% total, and then escrow is probably going to be another 1%.
Yep.
And then you have if you go FHA, there's an FHA upfront fee, that's a mandatory fee. How much is the FHA fee?
FHA is 1.75%, and that's on any FHA loan.
That's on any FHA loan
in the country.
Okay.
That money goes directly to FHA.
That goes to the government,
Yeah.
Now, there's also a soft cost construction admin fee?
Right, yeah. So for most consumers, you're probably not used to getting or dealing with the construction side or construction financing, whereas your builder is more accustomed to that. So on that end, when you're getting a construction loan, there's other costs involved. And so just to help educate you all, the construction costs will usually consist of things called soft cost and construction interest. Soft costs are things that are involved for administering or overseeing the project and the draw process and ensure that the home is getting completed. So we have a post-closing team, a construction team that will they have an inspector they'll send out regularly to come check on how everything's going. They also administer the draw. So when the builder needs more money to move on to the next phase of the project, they ensure that he is where he needs to be at before they issue him another check.
Right.
So this is a dedicated team to help make sure that happens. So that in order to fund that team and their payroll, that's what those soft costs are for. Is for that team that oversees the project post closing. Yeah.
Okay. So. And that typically, from my understanding, that runs about 2.25%.
Roughly, yeah, about 2.25, 2.5, yeah.
Okay. And then, I guess, is there any other? Is it there's inspection fees that are about $1,500, something like $1,000 to $1,500? Is there any inspection fees?
The appraisal.
That's about $500 to $700 for the appraisal.
Yeah, depends on where you're at.
That's done up front, right?
Yeah. The appraisal is done up front. We get one report that determines the value and the appraisal is done on your piece of land based on the specs the builder provides.
So the blueprint, the cost budget.
Right.
They determine what the future value with the comps of the area.
Right.
What the home is worth.
That's correct.
So all in all, I mean, the closing costs, the total settlement, from what I calculate, is probably about 6 to 7% of the loan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that gets financed into the loan. So if you're doing a $200,000 loan, your total settlement's probably going to be about $12,000 to $13,000, and that's just going to be added to the loan. And that doesn't include the interest.
Right.
The interest is probably going to be, another 5 to.
Well, let's start. It was about 10%.
Oh, is it about?
Yeah. So you take construction interest is about.
Oh, with the construction interest.
Construction, everything together is about 10.
Yeah, with the construction interest, then if you add that, you could say it's about 10%. So whatever your cost from your builder is, let's say it's $200,000, add another 10% for interest and settlement charges. So you'd be $200,000 plus 10% would be about $220,000 is what you'd finance, right?
Right, and it's that's going to cover your soft cost, construction soft cost, and then you also have the construction interest and closing costs. Those are things that you want to try and plan for. Now, I have a customer that is doing the one-time close program, and he's out in Texas, a small town. But anyway, he decided to build his own house. And the cost to build and everything like that was ended up being like $270,000, $275,000. We got the appraisal back, and the house value, proposed value, is about $380,000, $100,000 in equity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when you think about cost, you also have to think about if you're smart about your project, how much money you could be earning or saving yourself from doing that project right. Picking out the right piece of land, the right builder. The right floor plan, and how much equity, what type of equity position you're putting yourself in. If that guy goes and sells that house in the next year or two, he's gonna make a lot of money. So true. It's there's cost involved, but when you're building a home, you're the builder in this situation where you're getting your own construction loan in your name. You're not going to D.R. Horton or any other builder out there.
Profit, yeah.
Right, where they're getting the loan for you, or they're using their money. And they're basically eating all your equity up. This program allows you to do it yourself, and you get the equity.
Yeah. Now, on that, the guy that has $100,000 equity, if you have that, that's normally what we see when you do your own construction loan. If you're doing an FHA loan, they could refinance later to conventional and get rid of the MI, right? The PMI.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can get rid of the PMI afterwards by refinancing. So that's a solution that you can do. And so, it's a really cool thing, to be able to do this, because what we see all over the country is that people can't find the house they want. They're in an area where the builder's not building the type of home they need. The houses are too small. It doesn't work for them. Here, you can custom build what you want. Okay, you can get the house that you want of your dreams and build it. Whether you're in a small town of 1,100 people population or whether you're in L.A. I've done construction loans in L.A. I've done stuff in Little Odessa, Texas, and so it really gives you that dynamic opportunity to be able to build your own house the way you want, or whether you want to put a brand new manufactured home on your land. And it's a turnkey build out. It covers your well, your septic, or if you're city utilities, your foundation, the whole build out for everything will be included on your land. So it really is a phenomenal program. If you're looking to to learn more about it, please click on the link below. You can get started, and we'll work on getting you pre-approved. Like I said, it does take about 3 to 5 days. There's no application fee or deposit to apply. Now, I will say that with this program, we do get very, very busy with it, and we can typically only help about 100 people, 102 people a month with it. So if you wait too long, we might not be able to help you with it because we're going to get too busy and too backed up. That's kind of our max number of people we can kind of help, is about 102 people a month. And with interest rates rising, I would strongly suggest that you try to do this now. A 30-year fix is at 4.5%. They're projecting by next year, if they go to 6% on a $200,000 loan, that's going to increase your payment by $300 a month. So it doesn't make any sense, the cost of waiting versus doing it now and getting pre-approved and getting registered. So is there any, what are some of the biggest, obviously, what are the biggest, the biggest takeaway, what are the main takeaways, the benefits of doing a construction loan?
The main benefits, that you're putting yourself in an equity position right away with a construction loan. you know what you're building, from the ground up in your home. And a lot of times people get a house built from a builder.
Okay.
And there's things behind the walls that you don't realize until you've probably lived there for 5 to 10 years. And then you realize they didn't do the plumbing right, or they didn't run the vents right. And then you have problems, leaks and things like that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Here you get to oversee the entire project.
Mm-hmm.
You're a lot more involved, and it makes it for a funner experience. You also get better terms. So it's a great program that that's really great.
Well, you don't have to mess with 2 closings.
That's right. Yeah.
You just have 1 closing. It's a fixed rate mortgage. You get to be oversee your project. Virtually little to no money out of pocket.
Right.
Right. And you get to design your home, as opposed to taking someone else's house that you probably doesn't really suit your needs.
Right.
So you can help with the architect or the builder to build the home the way you want it. So I just think that if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's really a no-brainer. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. It's a good program. I mean, in addition, you're not having to pay the interest payments during the construction process,
Right.
which makes it affordable to build a house. A lot of people can't get into the place where they can build their own home, because on a traditional construction loan, you got to get land, to build a house, you're usually looking at 20-25% down.
Mm-hmm.
And you're having to make the interest payments for construction while you're paying the rent or mortgage wherever you're at right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there any downside or drawbacks to this program?
Not that I can think of. No.
Okay.
It's they're government. Most of them are government programs like FHA or VA, so they're government backed, and conventionals backed by Fannie Mae. Low down payments, or with the equity, not having to bring any money down. Low fixed interest rates, no prepayment penalties. I can't really see. I don't really see.
So there's no
downside.
penalty. There's no balloon.
No.
This doesn't hurt your credit. If you're applying for a loan, you can apply for a mortgage. We check your credit. It doesn't hurt your score to go down. We have to check your credit if we're going to get you pre-approved. The process does take the whole process does take it from beginning to end, takes about 60 to 70 days to close on this. This is not a 2-week closing. So the process, just keep in mind, if you apply, it's October 27th today, you're probably not going to close until the end of December or the middle of January. So just to set your expectations right, if you're trying to buy land from somebody. Now, if you don't own the land, you're going to be purchasing land. The land is paid off to the seller whenever we go to closing in the beginning. And the one-time close, they fund and wire a check to the seller for his land. Okay, the seller doesn't wait until the house is built to get paid. The seller of the land gets paid when we close on the one-time close construction loan. Okay, because that's a big question that we get, right?
Right.
When does the seller get paid? That's when they get paid. So, but when you execute that contract with the seller, you got to tell them it's going to take 60 to 75 days. It's not a 30-day closing like a regular transaction. So that's a huge thing that you have to know. The other thing is that, the builder has to get approved. He has to fill out his packet and get that over to us. You have to get approved and get your stuff over to us. We have to get, the cost budget from the builder. And he has to execute a builder agreement with you that you guys have to sign and get that sent over to us. You have to get over all your W-2s, your pay stubs for the last 30 days, your last 2 years, your W-2s, your bank statements for the last 2 months, copies of your identification, and all that will be below on the link whenever you fill it out to apply. You can upload all that information. It's bank level security, and we'll review it, and one of our team members will get back to you within 3 to 5 days. And then for the builder application, like I said, it does take about 2 to 3 weeks to process. The thing about this is that it's not a rush thing where we're going to quickly just slap it together. It's taking time and making sure that we do it right, and that we because you're building a house, and it's very there's a lot of details that are involved with it, and we have to make sure that things are done properly. There's an old saying, measure twice, cut once. That totally applies here. So we've got to make sure that we're doing things correctly. I think one of the other great things is locking in the interest rate today, because that way you're protected. You don't have the risk of rates rising, and being sucked into that. Because if you're doing a 2-time construction, then you run the risk of, if rates go up in the future,
Yeah.
then you're subject to that higher rate.
Right.
So, Well, I'm glad that you were able. I know you're real busy, and I'm glad you're able to join with us today. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. If you guys are interested to get more information, fill out the application below to get started. Like I said, we can get you processed right away. Josh heads up our construction team here, and he'd love to work with you to help you to build your new home. Reach out to us. You can also call us on the number above. But it's a lot easier if you just fill out the information below to get started. There's no application fee. There's no deposit to apply. There's no contract. You can always change your mind, but we're ready to go to help you so you can build your new home. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care.